And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Culp. I'm your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is August 15th. It's Friday. It's 2025. And if it's a Friday, you know what that means. I'll be on an airplane. Hope you have a good day. Hope you're having a good weekend. As always, serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry. Trump and Putin. And I must tell you, they preempted General Hospital at the most important time today for Trump and Putin, which really irritates me. So I'll have to go on the ABC site and watch it. Oh well, what can I tell you? You don't mind me saying that, right? I have two things. General Hospital and professional wrestling have been part of my whatever for forever. And it used to be One Life to Live and All My Children, but they took them off the air. Anyway, in case you don't know, serious talk on everything that affects you. As we said, the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, Trump and Putin. And other things are showing up that I need to talk about. A lot of jello moving on the plate today in the markets. And we're going to cover it. From Warren Buffett to United Health to the bad day today in a certain area that could be of import, maybe not. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. I'm getting used to saying X instead of Twitter. We'll post it on our X feed. And if you'd like to follow us on X, go ahead, put our name in. And if you'd like to email me, you just got to be nice. Very simple. We're very nice here. We're very respectful. You can disagree with us 1,000%. We'll say thank you. And that is all. So the big news today, the president is meeting with a murderous thug, Vladimir Putin, he has murdered people that disagree with him with poison, fallen off buildings in weird car crashes. He invaded Ukraine. And what's interesting about all that is a ton of his own soldiers have been killed in this war for land. And I've always wondered, so you get some land, whoopee frickin' do? I'm hearing tens of thousands of his own citizens, soldiers, are dead. Anyway, we'll see what comes of it. I must tell you that, as you know, I kind of watch everything. This is how sick some of these media ass clowns are. Before the meeting, you got 5 jerks on TV, including, I'm not even going to mention names. One of them has been like a has-been, used to run somebody's campaign. They already said Putin has won. What a bunch of jokes. These hateful, political, pundit jokes. Think about that. You got the president, and as you know, I got problems with him. He's trying, and he may be successful or not, trying to stop a war. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Maybe nothing comes of it. These clowns, he already lost. Amazing. It really is amazing. Anyway, so that's going on right now. You can think what you want. Hey, we all have our opinions on these things. I just like peace, don't you? Anyway, so that's happening right now. Not really, I don't think it's a market mover in any way, shape, or form. Next thing I want to bring up, and we'll do the indices later. Let's start with United Health. I know you've been hearing about that today. In case you don't know, United Health is a stock that went from $606 in April, hit a low recently of, I think, about $234. It's a Dow stock. It has been one of the strongest Dow stocks. It is in the managed care and whatever healthcare benefit plans and all that crap. And, of course, what has happened recently, first off, it started with a murder. Luigi. You know Luigi, the one that's getting marriage proposals because he's good looking? I got to tell you, some people are just weird. Luigi, the guy who murdered, such a cowardly nobody that shot a man in the back. That is getting GoFundMe money from people, and people saying the guy deserved it. Imagine you're the CEO of a company and you just lead a life and doing the best you can. You got wife and kids and you got shot in the back and people are celebrating it. I got news for you. Those people better get a big mirror. Anyway, it started with that because what's come of United Health is it has been pretty much disclosed that they were denying claims like 10 times higher than anybody else. And then there's been a Justice Department and then a criminal investigation, and it just kept going lower and lower and lower. I've been amazed. And from 606 to 234, you ready? Let me see if I can come up with this number so you have an understanding what it means to the Dow. 606 minus 234 equals 372 times 6.5, 2,418 Dow points to the downside since April. Well, in the last 5 days, it moved up from like 240 to 270. Not because of any news, but it just decided to go from 240 to 270. And it was announced Warren Buffett took a big position. And it was announced that other hedge funds took a big position. And the stock was up today $32 to 304. So 32 times 208 Dow points. Well, the Dow only finished up 34. So you can see that United Health was the head honcho top dog big cheese today. It counts when it goes down. It counts when it goes up. We consider that. Volume was heavy. And I get all kinds of emails. Does it really matter? Well, let me state for the record, all these hedge funds were big time underwater. In case you don't know, these are old numbers that come out. It's from the second quarter, from the beginning of April to the end of June. I can tell you from the beginning of April to the end of June, the high was 606, the low was 234. Excuse me, the low was 295. So they could not buy it lower than 295. Which means they were losing their butt if it was at 234 a few days ago. So they're not geniuses or anything, but Warren Buffett has some what we call cachet, even though one of his biggest positions now is Occidental Petroleum. He's been buying that for a couple of years and he's getting smoked on it. But it's Warren Buffett. And then you add in some of these other people. And I got asked by many people today, so what do you think of United Health? And I use the same word for all of them. I am agnostic. I have no clue what happens from here. It is not like anything fundamental changed. It is a matter of it's down, it's out, it's under-owned, it's under-leveraged, it's under-loved, the whole works. And it looks like because of these very smart people throughout the years, it got a big gap to the upside here, and we'll see what happens in the weeks ahead. Simple as that. That's my answer. Technically, I got nothing to say. That's chart patterns. I got nothing for you, except it gapped up today. That's it. So that's the United Health thing. Also, Warren Buffett took a position in D.R. Horton and Lennar. We've been talking about the housing stocks, but they opened up hot and they were sold off. And he also took a position in Nucor. And guess what? Nucor opened up at 152, closed at 145. So that was kind of not big meaning. So I just want to let you know that was the story on United Health today. And we'll see whether these people are geniuses or not. What I don't like, and I just wonder, was there leaks? Meaning, all of a sudden, all these hedge funds are buying into this company, kind of, sort of at the same time? Did they kind of know? And just remember, Warren Buffett's not, I don't know if he's really running the show at Berkshire right now. There's this other guy. I'm just wondering that all of a sudden, all these people bought into a stock that was getting trashed, with Justice Department all over them, with criminal investigations. I don't know what to tell you. You know I'm a skeptic on a decent amount of Wall Street. So just wanted to let you know that was the United Health thing today. The final numbers, Dow was only up 34 with United Health up about 208 Dow points. Weakness, Goldman Sachs 16 and change. That's 100 Dow points. Interesting. That's what stood out. Caterpillar down 9. Interesting. You know how important Caterpillar is to us. And that's topped out recently. So we'll see what next week's bring. I will tell you that you had some great advanced declines this week. You had one bad one. Today was and a lot of jello moving on the plate today, which I think is of note. And we're going to talk about each area. And, let me throw it out to you. May need to be on your toes. Up next, all of that and much more. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. All right. Let's do one by one. First and foremost, and this is the real sticking out, Applied Materials. Symbol AMAT. This is an electronic semiconductor equipment company. You can go look them up at appliedmaterials.com and exactly what they do. The stock was down 14% today and 4 times average volume. This is an important semiconductor equipment company. It's an important semiconductor equipment company. It closed today trading where it did in January of 22, so almost 3.7 years of no gains. They reported guidance came down, and the question is, we're the equipment makers. We get orders starting to slow. Remember, other companies are involved. So we just want to let you know that's for starters. Big breakdown on that stock, without a doubt. But we're always looking, what else? There's always sympathy moves, and sometimes it gets ignored. I've seen plenty of times where one stock in a group gets trashed and the other stocks maybe gap to the downside and then they rally. Let's take a look. KLAC, the strongest name in the group, finished down $80 today, down 8.4%. And what was interesting about today, it opened up at about 920. And closed at 875. So the institutions were selling the stock today, almost 2 times average volume, double average volume. That's of note. Lam Research was at a new high, not anymore, was down 7.3% today on more than double average volume. That's the group right there. And of course, it did not help the whole semiconductor complex. Now, there's some other names. ASML was only down 1% and change. It is a threesome of those that I watched closely, and it was rough. And there's a few other semiconductor equipment companies that were down today. The SOX was down 132. Just not a great tone whatsoever for those areas. And I think probably more than likely they should be avoided right now, which gives a little pause because you know how important semiconductors are to our work. So I just wanted to start with that one. That's number one. Number two, Goldman Sachs down 16 today. JP Morgan, keep in mind it's a lower priced. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. Down $3.50 today. Morgan Stanley, which broke out and tucked back in like a frightened turtle today, down 2.6%. Not the end of the world. BlackRock, I've been telling you about that one, down $25 today, over 2% today, to be watched. Because as we have told you, we pull no punches. Banks and semis matter to us big time. And as far as the banks, I'm not going to say anything real big negative except they had a down day today. We'll see if there's follow through next week. And the financials, bleh, today. And as we said, the Dow was only up 35 with the United Health up 208. Total Dow price. So you had some ick today. Not the end of the world. What else stuck out? And I wrote a little list here for you. Gold miners continue to act pretty darn good versus the gold. This is a big sea change because for a long while the gold is stronger than the gold miners. The gold miners playing catch up. If you go look at the GDX versus the GLD, you will see the GLD, which is gold, the metal, going into its 17th week of range. The gold miners broke out and really ain't giving much back right now. had a little pullback of no big deal. Gold miners. I saw more this week as far as distribution in some of the AI energy companies, the AI construction companies, the AI kind of thingamabobs. I saw some distribution in the aerospace defense where a bunch of names broke below support levels. So a little bit of that going on. Not the end of the world, but for sure their uptrends may be stunted for right now, and we'll see how they pull them back, whether it worsens or not. But just letting you know, Bitcoin went to new highs 2 days ago and didn't hold it. Just letting you know, back in range. That's all. But MicroStrategy, again, all they do is own Bitcoin, looks like crap and is now underperforming the Bitcoin. And as we have stated to you, it's just a weird thing they're doing there. Others call it a scheme. I'm just going to say it's weird. Borrowing to buy more Bitcoin, issuing more stock to buy more Bitcoin. And as I have told you, Bitcoin, the last bear market was down 75%. I think this thing's leveraged and will get yonked, even just in a darn good correction. So just letting you know, and I bring this up because I know a lot of people, elderly, that have been convinced to get into the crypto now because of the president, and nothing can go wrong. And you have a bunch of touts telling you it's going to 1 million. One person said 3 million. Another one said 13 million. Okie dokie. And I do believe that Michael Saylor, who runs MicroStrategy, said it's going to be worth a certain amount of the, I don't know, the number he gave would be higher than all the GDP of this world, what Bitcoin was going to be worth, and he said it with a straight face. I was looking at his eyes to see if he smoked a lot of weed. Anyway, we'll keep an eye out for you. If Bitcoin continues to go higher, we'll tell you. If it breaks down, we'll tell you. You really can't hide uptrends or downtrends. Just letting you know, it went to new highs on Wednesday, and I guess the best word is aborted the new highs, but has not broken down. And of course, the Ethereum's come on strong, so all of a sudden everybody's talking about that. Remember, price moves opinion, words, and emotion. You got that? Which has me in a minute segueing to the other part of the equation of price moves words, opinions, and emotion, but also dollars, sometimes at the most inopportune times. Up next, that'll be the segue. Thanks for being here. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, recently, just warning shots to you. We've given you warning shots based on the information the market has given us. And those warning shots had to do with two things. Number one, hot IPOs being opened like crazy, making a real quick dart to the upside crazily, and then crushing people. And then also there have been, and I don't know how they come out, where they came from, but we have mentioned to you from Asia, stocks that have gone from 4 to 40 and then dropped $39 in a day. Not making this up. So we're just letting you know, and this is not a commentary on the companies, we're talking price here. So I got this other one I found today called Cuprina Holdings. Today's the first day I've ever seen it because it showed up on my volume screen. The symbol is CUPR. It's Singapore-based. They have no sales. It looks like in April it came out at like $4. It hit a high yesterday of 9.5. The other ones I noted for you all stopped trading and opened down 90%. Today, in the first 20 minutes, this stock went from 9.5 down to $8.38. It stopped trading. At 11:15, it opened back up at 94 cents. The stock was down 87% today on 20 times average volume. In other words, if you own the stock, you would drop 80 some odd percent and you could not trade in between. This is probably the 7th or 8th name in the last 3 months that have done this. Warning shot, and they're all from Hong Kong, China. This one is Singapore. And again, this is not a rip on the countries or the companies. It's on the stocks. Be careful. But we've also warned you about other crap. And that is just suspect stuff. Here's one for you. FLYE Group. FLYE. Designs, installs smart electric motorcycles, whatever, e-scooters. It was down 87% today to $1. Accusations of the company is a figment of the imagination. I am not commenting on that. I'm reporting what came out today on it. And then there's the IPOs. Symbol FLY was the most recent IPO. They opened it at 50. It went to 74. 6 days later, it's 47. 74 to 47. I don't need to do any others. I did a bunch for you yesterday. But we are seeing a bunch of 40, 50, 60% drops in days off of hot IPOs. I'm not even going to comment if, like Rivian, when that came public and we said, that thing's going to crash because of valuation. I'm not even going to bring up valuation. We're just letting you know the characteristic of this market. They're opening up IPOs hot and they're crumbling. So you're forewarned. And we don't know if it gets better, gets worse. We're just letting you know we started warning you on this in the last 2-3 weeks. And it's got worse. So we have to bring that up to you. And a couple of these that just stopped trading and opened up down 80 some odd percent, I don't even know what to say. That's why we tell you, just be careful of the specs. Imagine that. Owning a stock, it stops trading, and an hour later opens up down 85%. And by the way, I don't see any news or explanation. I just looked up, and we just take our time and go, I'll go right in real time for you right now. Cuprina Corporation News. And guess what? It finally came out. Cuprina Holdings plummets 88% in volatility storm. I don't think it's a volatility storm. It just shut down and opened up. And there's no news. It's just a report. Usually there should be news. So just be careful. Let me give you the good side. Just letting you know. money flows, volume today into the solars. There was a story today about solar projects under a certain amount of this, that, and the other thing may qualify for federal tax credits. So First Solar up 19 to 199. Some of the bombed out names like SEDG up 4 and change to 30. Just letting you know. We have been telling you to avoid solars forever. Not forever, but for a very long time. And that was a high volume move today. And we'll see how it goes. So that's the good end. Does not take away from, we started talking to you about, what's selling off today. The big indices are in good stead. Small caps had a better week, though they pulled back the last couple of days. My worries remain the same. It's the tariffs. It's the spiking the football on tariffs when the definition of a tariff is a higher price, while they've been telling us, don't worry, there's no inflation, though now the producer prices come in and they spiked up. And the apologist said, don't worry. We'll see about that. The president also threatened more tariffs today before he went to Alaska. By the way, I've been to Alaska once, but I had a plane stop there. I've never stepped foot into Alaska, and I know I gotta do like a cruise or something to Alaska one day. I hear cruises, and then you go up into the, all that. You've seen the videos. I may have to do that one day. And I gotta do Norway too. I've never done Norway. How did I segue to that? I have no idea. I was discussing the president. He's in Alaska right now. We think a lot of the strong names are now settling down, pulling back, sitting around, and we may get a few weeks of nothingness. I do know one thing that really stuck out to me today that I didn't even realize for a second. NVIDIA reports in 12 days. That'll be a week from next Wednesday, right? Is that right? Yeah. So we'll see what that brings. But overall, fine. Big indices, fine. Remain above the 21-day moving average. Not even down to the 50-day. Little pullback in the Qs today because of the semis. And again, that's to be watched. I do have to also mention the airlines have been better. There's been a few things coming on. The home builders, though they got sold off today off of the Warren Buffett news. I call that a no biggie. But what stuck out at the close to me today after I was doing a little work, the 10-year yield backed up the last couple of days, and I think that has to be watched. I can never promise here. We don't want to see the 10-year yield go above 4.5. We're at 4.328. Why? I don't think the Fed can lower rates if it goes above 4.5, because the market will be telling you something. And the market, I think, is dependent on that. We'll see. Hey, up next, this, that, and the other thing, the end of the week. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Hey, in the news that may or may matter to you or the markets, and we believe everything that emanates out of D.C. these days. In case you don't know, Washington, D.C. has now sued Donald Trump and the administration. I don't know who the administration. They say it's a hostile takeover by putting the National Guard there and whatever to protect the citizens. I don't know about you, but you give me more security in areas of strife, and I'm a happy guy. I saw Chucky Schumer, one of the biggest failures in D.C. that keeps getting elected, say, oh, I walk around Washington, D.C. all the time. He's got a security detail. And as I told you, the last time I was in D.C., I had to briskly move away from a few, and I'm letting you know, they were 15 or 16-year-olds. They looked like they were ready to come at me. And I got out of there before you can say boo. And don't forget, D.C. had to put out flyers to protect yourself from carjackers. It's insanity. Yet, they're suing? It's insane. Also in the news, the mayor of New York City, yeah, I'm saying he's going to win. There's pictures of him with ingrates celebrating with people that said 9/11 was a good thing. He's not apologizing for anything he has said in the past or his beliefs. He's really out there telling you he's a communist. He wants to control the means of production. He wants to control price. He wants to tell you what you're going to pay, when you're going to pay it, how much you're going to pay. He does not want free markets. He's going to imagine. He wants to take over supermarkets. He wants to defund the police. Defund the police. He wants less police. He wants, social workers to go take care of people. I got to tell you, in the subway last week, somebody was pushed onto the tracks. We're going to send a social worker to take care of that person? It's insanity. Yet he is going to win. And he hates Jews, and Jews are voting for him. Call me dumbfounded. I got to hand it to him. He's not hiding it. You know, all the other Marxist, socialist, communists, when they go for election, they hide it. Or they say they didn't mean it. He ain't doing that. He's not doing that. That's in the news. And as I've stated, if he was coming in to a small city, which still matters, that doesn't mean as much. But this is New York City. By the way, he says he don't believe we should have billionaires. Just so you know, it used to be millionaires, but when they became millionaires, they went to the B. Imagine. You're telling your most successful people you shouldn't be that successful. And you basically tell them, get the hell out. And you know what they will do? They'll get the hell out. Do you know how many very wealthy New Yorkers have moved out of New York City because of these thoughts? Do you remember de Blasio? His exact quote, I'm going to tax the hell out of the rich. They don't deserve to have what they have. So we're going to keep our eye on it. I'm expecting him to win. I don't know what the hell is going on with the voters there. This should be the easiest decision of their lives. Oh, and yes, it's like, I've said it before, the Ebola virus versus the bubonic plague, who they're going against. He's going against. And we'll just see how it goes. If Trump is able to get big movement on the war in Ukraine, started by Putin, he's got the Gary K. Peace Prize, ladies and gentlemen. He gets the Gary K. Peace Prize if that's the case. I'm not so sure that's going to happen. The guy is a murderer, a thug, and you can't very much persuade those people. Earnings. Notice the segue. A lot less. My job's easier right now. I only have 2 pages of earnings next week, but Walmart and Home Depot in the Dow. Home Depot had a good week off of the low rates, but if low rates turn into higher rates, that's going to end. And you got things like Analog Devices, Estee Lauder, Lowe's with Home Depot, Target, TJ Maxx, TJX. That'll be all next week, but I only have a page and a half of earnings next week, which thrills the heck out of me. I told you about the Amazon Instacart thing. I was looking at that today. That's big stuff. If I was Instacart and these others, I'd be real worried. Amazon has its way. Once they get into something, boy, they are good at it. And if you've driven around and see some of their fulfillment centers that are like the size of... There's one near the airport here in Orlando. I would swear it's like 5 football fields, if not more. And they opened one up here in Deltona also. And man, oh man, they are good at delivery. And now they say they'll be able to deliver perishables within hours. If I were Instacart, DoorDash, and some of these others, boy, oh boy, I'd be in meetings this weekend. Nothing like competition on Wall Street. Amazon had a good week on that news. We'll see how it plays out. That all said, you have a great weekend. Drive carefully. I'll be hanging with the dad. And when you get home, do like we do. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. Make sure you hug your father and your mom. Peace out, all. Thanks for joining, and thanks for all your well wishes. Be well, stay well. Good night.